Hey, it's Kamela here from Creative Moms Decant. So today I'm going to show you how to use the xTool creative software to attach letters. Let's go!
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me.
All right, so I've opened the xTool creative space, and for this project we're talking about text. So of course I'm going to click on text, and I'm going to go ahead and type in my best friend's name. And I like to make things large, so I like to expand my canvas and all those things. Maybe that's because I'm getting old and can't see. All right, so now let's pick some fonts. So you can use whatever font that you would like for this project. I want to use a cursive font like this one. So there is no way as of today to weld or attach these together. The combine button is grayed out when you're in text. So until that changes, this is what we have to do. So I'm just going to toss that up there. What this is going to do is help us line things up. But we're going to want to open separate text boxes for each letter. I know, a little bit tedious, but totally doable. So I'm going to rock these out, grab each one separately and the same font, and then we'll continue. All right, so now we have them all. I like the size of this one. We're going to make it an even size though. So I'm just going to go 257. And then I'm going to make each of these also 257. So each one of these separately, 257. I could have done that before I copied and pasted my K and my I, but I didn't. All right, so now the reason I like to keep this template up here is it makes things a little bit easier, because then I can put these right on and I know that I'm going to have very precise placement. So this is a font that works really well for cursive and welding, like in Cricut Design Space. And so by doing this, then I know I have them right, because aligning at the bottom for fonts and things like that doesn't always work. And remember, when you're wanting to fine tune where you place something, your arrow keys work fantastic for that. I've shared that on one of my other xTool Creative Space videos. But the Design Space, I found I could get a little bit more precise, where this one I can get extra precise, but I have to use my arrow keys. All right, so now we're going to just select all of these, and now we can combine and unite. And if we move this, you'll see the difference. These are going to cut smoothly, so smooth lines, where if I sent this one to cut now, it's going to cut into the other letters, and that's not what we want, especially because I'm making a keychain today. And then this one with the eye dots, I would go ahead and do an outline on this one. So I'm going to run it as 2 layers, and I don't want there to be a dot separate on my back layer. So I'm going to bump this offset or outline up just a little bit so that they're 2 separate pieces, and we'll separate them before we send them to our xTool. So I'm going to cut this on my xTool D1 using xTool Acrylic, and I'll show you how I finish the keychain. Oop, as soon as we add a hole. So the other thing I do, because I'm making this a keychain, is I want to add a hole, and I'm going to do that by adding a circle. And then wherever I would like it to attach, I'm going to make sure it attaches on this part, on my bottom layer. So I am going to center it, I think, with this in. So let's go align and center here. Yes. And then, so I'm going to go ahead and combine this together. And then I'm going to grab another circle. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And that will be my hole. So I'm going to add that into this circle. And again, those arrow keys really come in handy for placing it. There we go. Now we're ready to send this to Matt. So here's the acrylic cutting with the xTool. I'm also cutting vinyl on my Cricut Maker. All right, so here is the black acrylic that we welded together, the letters in xTool Creative Space. And now I'm just pulling that paper coating off. It really, y'all, it cuts like butter. This is all really smooth and really nice. I'm super excited because my full-time job, I guess, YouTube doesn't make me any money, but what supports our YouTube is my selling of crafts, and keychains are my big thing. And my supplier went out of business for getting blanks. So I'm super excited that now I can cut my own blanks. So happy. And it cuts really nice. It's excellent quality. So I also, as you saw in my couple quick clips, that was hard to get out. I also cut the welded name in vinyl. So I just used the font in Cricut Design Space and then got the same size and cut that through my Cricut Maker. So I have no idea where one of my scrapers went, so we're gonna just cross our fingers, hope for the best. But what I'm gonna do is take this vinyl off, and I did grab my rubbing alcohol, and I think I am going to use it. I would typically use a cloth, but clean that up and then let that rubbing alcohol dry. But you definitely want it to be a clean, not oily surface for you to put your vinyl on. All right, so clean this all off. And again, make sure it's dry. So the nice thing about the rubbing alcohol is it does dry quickly. And then we're going to line up our vinyl right onto here. And that's going to be awesome. So I am also going to cover this. Nope, I didn't quite get that lined up. Luckily, it's being forgiving today. That never happens, does it? There we go. All right, and then I can remove my transfer tape. I want to make sure it stays down after it came up so easy. I'm going to use UV resin to just put a protective coat on top. It's how I finish all my keychains. So I am going to put the UV resin on, and then I am going to finish it with my keychain hardware and that adorable tassel. And that is all I have for you today. Hopefully now you know how to weld letters together using xTool Creative Space. If you give me a like and subscribe to our channel, these things really help us make more videos for you, and it puts a big smile on our face. Have a joyful day, friends. Bye!
With an illusion like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection.